Hello, welcome again. Jerry's Old Guy Review. So, promise you guys this video. Now, I'm going to say I was slightly disappointed. I thought more people that like the scale trucks, especially the 114s, 112s, would have had more questions for me. But you may not be, because of all the bad press, you may not be too concerned with buying a Cross RC. So I will address my questions, give you a little history on the vehicle that it is modeled after, and hopefully, maybe if you're into military vehicles, you'll appreciate the Crosses a little more, and you might want to pull the trigger on it. Now, I am going to have to praise all my new subscribers. So it's been over a week since we've last had a video. I have 10 new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. And remember, my channel is for you guys. You guys have a question that I can answer or a vehicle I can show you, let me know. I will do my best to make a video. And you'll get your name mentioned, and you'll get your question answered. So, this is my friend, that's my RC, who we really enjoy our overlands. And his question was, he would like to see a size comparison between the Night Hauler, the Cross hc6, and the Overland. So, just trying to give a good face-on look. Now, when I served in the military, back in the 90s, we had a lot of these trucks. But I'll go into more detail and history of the looks of the truck. Now, I can't ever say that I saw one up against a Freightliner. So to me, it still looks a little big, which it should. We'll get into the scale aspect in a few minutes. But with the Zetros, they look a bit more on. I got a little guy in there. I'm not a big driver guy, but that big empty cab just looked like it needed a driver. He's a wrestler, so he's a little too big. But if we get back, the Overland, of course, is way bigger or way longer. The dimensions are pretty close. But when you look at the back end of the Night Hauler, it's a little bit tiny. So, that was my first question. That's my RC. Hope that helped out. So, let's just get rid of these big old trucks so we can focus on the vehicle for the video. Now, with those out of the way, we'll get him positioned. Now, this truck, I was in the military, and the military camouflage is pretty nice, but I decided I was going to experiment with an airbrush for the first time. So, as I've been known to be a little bit of a weirdo when it comes to painting my own things, I actually go outside and I take the truck where I'm going to drive it, which in this case I used my yard. Now, sitting this truck down, if there's some sun, there's some shadows, this truck camouflages in there pretty good. So that's about enough of blowing my horn on that one. Now, my next question was from Anthony S., who wanted to know who made these vehicles. Well, I had to do a little looking up because I know these trucks as being made by AM General. And AM General was the military end of AMC, who used to own Jeep. Now, the first model was the original, not the original. Kaiser was about the third owner of Jeep, and they happened to be the owner when they needed military vehicles. So the first version of this truck came out in 1951. It was produced from 51 to 69 as the M39 series. And as America's war effort would prove in the Second World War, anybody could make what we needed. So this vehicle was made by Kaiser at first, then Kaiser changed to Kaiser Overland, and then eventually Kaiser Jeep. Mack Truck made these vehicles. Now, here's the thing. This isn't an M39 series because in my research I found that the M39 series had the air filter on the right side of the fender, not the left. Now, the M809 series, which was produced from 1970 to 82, was the first official military section of Kaiser Jeep. And they called themselves AM General. They produced this vehicle from 1970 to 82. This is the closest representation in all the pictures to what this vehicle is. An M809 series, which has the air filter on the left fender. It came in a long bed and a short bed. The long bed didn't have the storage box or the spare tire. That was all bed. And which surprised me, because in my military service, these generally had the dually tires in the back, which were small and not very effective tires. So by the later 90s, I thought that they had just been converting using the tires off the new 5-ton to create this vehicle. But it wasn't. These both the M39 series and the M809 series, which were both 5-tons, were fitted with either the bigger 6-wheeler tires or the smaller dualies in the rear. But by 1982, AM General was making a new 5-ton, which anyone who served in the 90s have seen those big beefy monsters. And they come with these big old tires on them already. So I was glad to see that Cross was pretty accurate. I thought they had just made a vehicle with the big tires on it because they wanted it to be big tires. But it's accurate to an actual vehicle. So now we'll move on to the scale. When I first bought this truck, it was advertised as a 112 scale. When I got it, the box said 110 scale. The owner's book says 112 scale. Right now they're on sale at RPP, A-Main, Cross's own website. Cross doesn't say what size it is. But RPP and A-Main are both listing it as 110 scale. which, as we saw when it was compared to 114 scales, it's not 110 scale or 19 scale as most of the vehicles are nowadays. So enough with the rattling of the history lessons and whatnot. Let's get to this truck. I've been driving this truck over 2 years. A lot of the websites that I read and go to, everybody's bashing crosses for bad transmissions, bad drive shafts, noisy everything. They don't last. They're garbage. Now, I've never bought any of their crawler trucks, but this was my first cross. And this truck has stood up to everything I put it through. It has crawled on substantial rocks. I've read and watched videos where they won't even go up a hill. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know if I maybe got the greatest cross truck on earth, or there's people who just don't like the cross and they're not going to give it any credit. Now, if you buy a cross kit, I'm going to tell you right now, this whole bed, these are all individual pieces of styrene. You do all of this yourself. These tie downs, every one of them yourself. Your little lights, you glue everything together. This box in the back, which is very convenient for the battery, you build the whole thing with the teeny tiny latches. Look at the size of that little latch. It comes with a nice chain, which it's so small, I have a hard time getting it secured all the time. You've got your latches to open your tailgate, which I haven't opened this tailgate in quite a while. Actually, pretty much since I bought it, I haven't, or since I built it, I haven't opened this tailgate. There we go. There's your little teeny tiny hinges you build. Little tiny screws. Now, you glue in all these pieces here so you can actually get a top for it. Oh, I guess I had 2 chains that came with it. So you can buy the top to put your nice little, it's canvas. I've seen it in person. I just have never bought it. It's actually a pretty nice little piece. Oh, I see what okay, I see, because I haven't used it very much. Okay, so it comes, I'm not quite sure what that button is, probably, or this hole, I think it's mainly if you're running a trailer, because it comes with a little fake pintle, but you can put a real one on there. It comes with nice old school, reminiscent of a Jeep, real Jeep, not a Dodge. Tail lights, it actually came with a light kit, and the light kit does have brake feature on it, so that's always nice. Everything, you build this box. So if you do a sound kit, you're going to want to make sure you don't build this box, because that's where the sound kit goes, the speaker. So you get the different piece that's like a grate, so your sound will come out. So I wasn't looking at getting a sound kit, but now I kind of want to get a sound kit. So I'm in that predicament. Your fuel tank, your steps, they're all metal bracketed. They all mount in with metal. So far I've ran those into rocks and sticks and everything else and haven't done anything to it. You've got metal mirror brackets, your windshield wipers. This is a plastic air filter, but all the brackets that hold it on are metal. You've got metal protectors for your turn signals, marker lights on both sides. You've got a metal grate working headlights, which are a dull yellow. So they look like what an older truck would look like. You get metal straps or metal D-rings, which is funny because you get a metal toe panel that this is a fake winch. So I just kind of dirtied up the old string that comes with it and made it look like it's, a winch cable. Nice removable spare tire. Just undo the screw, it falls forward. Now, it's got a pretty nice interior. It's kind of hard to get a good view, except you have your shift servo sticks up through the passenger seat. But you've got gauges and dash details. Not too shabby. Exhaust, that's metal. And the back of the truck is pretty much the same. So, this is where we get into. So, it's got a 2-speed transmission, which isn't noisy, hasn't given me any kind of hard time. It's actually got a transfer case, so you still have a front if you want to rig something up that'll run off the motor or run off the transmission. Kind of like a PTO. Not too shabby to have that extra feature. All metal axles, which when new, opened them up, made sure they had a good coating of grease in there, so I just left it. You've got leaf springs that are metal and plastic combined. I've seen the videos where these guys take them out and they've destroyed the leaf springs in the first drive. What would you do to a truck to tear up the leaf spring on the first drive? I don't understand. They say the drive shafts are bad. I haven't touched these drive shafts. I haven't cleaned them. I haven't lubricated them just to see how durable they are. And there's the guts of them. They're pretty stout. And as you can see from the bottom of it, I have nothing. There's nothing under here that is broken, dislodged. This truck has been phenomenal. Look at that sliding rear drive shaft. It slides inside of there, so you can look at it with your eye and, drive shaft looks good. So, this did get a little bit long. I didn't plan for it to, but there it is. The hc6 Cross RC, which I feel is a very nice truck. I'm glad I bought it, and I want to eventually get, a trailer for it and whatnot. So, yeah, sorry, I just spaced forward a little bit. But now the biggest reason why I've been so busy, first of all, we've gotten lovely weather, getting things started, getting things going. But this has been what I've been doing. I redid all my shelving, cleaned up my wall, filled all my holes so I could get a lot of my older trucks out on the shelf also. So these are new. Some of them are new for anyone who's watched my channel before. So if you see anything and you might want to ask a question about, you've got the normal trucks that are in most of my videos. But I've got an old Duratrax SC up there. I've got the old Kyosho Blizzard. I've got the Hanglong Abrams tank. I've got a couple of CC01s and the Axial Can-Am, an old Duratrax Cliff Climber, a Dromedia 116 vehicle, the old XC311, I believe it's called, from Tamiya. Got a little 118 RC 4-wheel drive Rover. And those are just, there's a little 124 axial I picked up. I haven't really done too much with that. And if any of you guys are the little ripping around, I got my 25-year-old son's number 73 original two-wheel drive Slash. Got a low profile Slash, which I don't even want to make a video on that because it's so horrible. Then you add some more. You've got a couple more Slashes, four-wheel drive. Wife's full-size truck Slash. 116 Mini Revo. Got a lot of the old crew out, so I could put them all up on the shelves. So once again, I'm sorry, the video went way too long. But thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And as you saw from my little whip around the shop, let me know if you got any questions. It's Jerry. Thanks. Bye.